Perhaps you have sometimes caught yourself thinking that the image of a familiar person suddenly pops into your mind for no apparent reason. You are immersed in your daily activities, and suddenly their face, smile, or a shared memory vividly pops into your head, capturing your full attention. For a moment, the world around you seems to recede, logic falls silent, giving way to an inexplicable but very real presence. The most striking thing is that this thought seems to come from outside, like an unexpected guest knocking on the door of your mind, demanding attention. What if I told you that this is not just your personal experience, not a solitary whim of your subconscious? It is quite possible that at this very moment, this person is also thinking about you with the same intensity, with the same clarity, projecting their mental image directly into your consciousness. This is not about random coincidences, not a simple game of imagination, but something much deeper. It is about a silent dialogue between two consciousnesses connected by an invisible but incredibly strong thread of energy. Modern science, especially quantum physics, is beginning to confirm what ancient philosophical and spiritual traditions have always known. Everything in the universe consists of vibrating energy, including our thoughts, emotions, and even our unspoken desires. When two people form a meaningful deep connection, whether it be love, friendship, or family ties, their energy fields begin to actively interact and exchange information in ways that transcend the limitations of time and space that we are accustomed to. Usually, this connection manifests itself through subtle but surprisingly powerful signals that we often miss, ignore, or, more often than not, dismiss as mere coincidences. Our thoughts, especially those filled with sincere and strong emotions, create invisible waves that spread throughout the universal energy field, generating resonance that can be picked up by those with whom we have special, unique connections. Imagine that our minds are not just brain structures, but complex transmitters and sensitive receivers, each tuned to unique frequencies specific to particular people. It's like radio stations that only pick up certain waves. Today, we will reveal 10 indisputable signs that indicate that you and another person are thinking about each other simultaneously, synchronously, as if your thoughts have merged into a single stream. You will learn to recognize these messages from the universe, interpret them correctly, realize their deeper meaning, and understand the amazing but real nature of these invisible connections. Get ready to expand your perception to a more subtle level of reality, where minds meet long before bodies do, where physical distance is just an illusion, and where true deep communication begins in silence, at the level of pure thought and energy. To truly understand the phenomenon of mental connection between two people, we need to expand our understanding of reality beyond the purely material visible world. Modern physics has shown that, at its most fundamental level, the universe is not made up of separate, isolated, solid objects, but of constantly interacting, dynamic energy fields. Our bodies and minds are not closed, isolated entities, but open energy systems that constantly vibrate, radiate, and exchange information with the environment. Thoughts are not just chemical reactions confined to our skulls. They are energy patterns that generate subtle but powerful fields capable of extending beyond the physical boundaries of the brain and spreading outward. When we think intensely and focusedly about someone with strong emotional charge, we create a specific frequency, a unique vibration that spreads throughout the universal field. If that person is attuned to us, their energy system can pick up on this signal, often unconsciously, which manifests as a spontaneous, unexpected thought about us. The eminent Swiss psychologist Carl Gustav Jung called such seemingly random but deeply meaningful events, which cannot be explained by simple cause and effect, synchronicity. Jung noted that there are such significant and surprising coincidences in life that cannot be explained by ordinary logic alone. He suggested the existence of a certain plane or field where mind and matter intertwine, where mental and physical events can reflect and correlate with each other, creating recognizable patterns for those who are attentive and open to such signs. Emotions play a decisive, one might say key, role in this process. When our thoughts are imbued with deep, sincere feelings such as love, deep affection, nostalgia, or a sincere desire for good, their energetic intensity increases exponentially. Emotions are the fuel that increases the range and clarity of our mental signals, making them more discernible. The more emotion aligns with thought, the more it reinforces the mental image, the more powerful the transmission becomes. This silent, nonverbal communication occurs continuously at levels that our ordinary conscious mind rarely perceives. However, there are moments when these signals become so obvious, so insistent, that they manage to break through the veil of our everyday perception and become noticeable. It is these manifestations that allow us to recognize when there is a genuine mutual mental connection. Now let's take a closer look at 10 specific signs that indicate when you and another person are attuned to the same mental clarity, thinking about each other simultaneously, creating invisible but strong bridges that transcend space and time. 1. Sudden and vivid thoughts about a person. The first and perhaps most telling sign occurs when, in the midst of your daily activities, seemingly out of nowhere, a thought about that person appears with surprising clarity and intensity. This is not a vague memory or a fleeting, barely perceptible idea. It is such a vivid mental presence, such a clear image that you can almost feel it, sense its aura. The most intriguing thing is that these thoughts do not follow a logical pattern and are not related to what you were doing at the time. You could be busy working, walking, or reading, and suddenly this person appears. This mental intrusion has a special feature. You feel that it does not come from your conscious will, not from your active thinking. It is as if someone has turned on the light in a room of your mind that had been dark until that moment. The image of this person appears with such clarity that you even physically stop for a moment, as if responding to a silent call, to some invisible signal. These spontaneous thoughts act as highly sensitive receivers of mental waves emitted by another person. When this person focuses their attention on you with sincere, strong emotion, this energy moves through the universal field and finds a response in your consciousness, penetrating it. Your mind picks up this signal and translates it into a sudden, vivid, and distinct thought about them. A distinctive feature of these thoughts, when they are the result of real two-way communication, is their persistence. They do not disappear easily, they do not evaporate. They continue to remain in your consciousness, evoking a strange but compelling feeling, as if you need to do something about it, take action, or at least think about it. This is the mental echo of two consciousnesses that met in the invisible space of pure energy long before any physical contact or ordinary communication. For example, you may be in a supermarket, choosing groceries, and suddenly the image of a classmate you haven't seen in 15 years appears before your eyes. It's not just a memory, it's like his presence, which makes you think, "I wonder how he's doing." 2. Vivid, memorable dreams about a person. During sleep, when our conscious mind recedes, its vigilance weakens and the barriers of logical thinking and everyday routines dissolve, our field of perception expands significantly, becoming more receptive to subtle energies. It is in this altered state of consciousness that mental connections with another person can manifest with striking clarity and detail. Dreams in which this person appears vividly, almost tangibly, with a sense of their real presence, are a powerful, undeniable sign of mutual mental attunement. These are not simple memories of the day processed during rest, but dream encounters that have a different quality, a sense of real presence. Conversations that seem to continue after awakening, or common scenarios that transcend the usual logic of dreams, seem more real than mere fantasies. The most telling thing is the feeling upon awakening. A deep, distinct emotional impression remains with you, as if you were really in the company of that person, experiencing something together. Sometimes these dreams are repeated or have recognizable patterns, recurring symbols, or themes that act as bridges between two minds, indicating a lasting connection. The dream space functions as neutral territory where consciousnesses can meet without the limitations of physical distance or chronological time. When you constantly dream about someone, and these dreams have unusual emotional intensity, depth, and realism, it is very likely that this person is also thinking about you, projecting their mental energy onto you at the moment when your receptivity is at its peak during your natural sleep cycle. For example, if you dream that you and a friend who lives far away are laughing together at an old joke that only the two of you understand, and the next day he unexpectedly sends you a message. Imagine, I dreamed today how we were laughing together at our joke. I thought of you. This is a clear and very powerful sign of telepathic connection. If you have ever experienced such vivid synchronistic dreams with someone special, you may be discovering one of the most powerful manifestations of a shared mental connection. These dream encounters are not mere coincidences, but real bridges between consciousnesses seeking each other beyond the physical plane. 3. Unexplained physical sensations. Our physical body is much more than just the material carrier of our consciousness. It is a complex, incredibly sensitive receiver of subtle energies, capable of registering signals that the rational mind does not consciously process, not reaching the level of awareness. When someone thinks intensely about you with strong emotional charge, your body can react with surprising accuracy, manifesting physical sensations long before your conscious mind realizes it. These physical manifestations appear without any apparent logical reason. A sudden chill running down your spine, like a light breeze. A warm feeling spreading through your chest. Like a hug, a rapid heartbeat without any physical exertion. Or an inexplicable tingling sensation in the back of your head, goosebumps. The peculiarity is that these sensations arise in moments of apparent calm, without any apparent external stimulus that could justify them. Your nervous system acts as a hypersensitive radar, picking up energy frequencies directed at you. The energy of someone else's thoughts, charged with emotions, first reaches your physical body, causing automatic reactions that you cannot control voluntarily. They happen on their own. It is as if your body literally senses that person's energetic gaze before your mind registers it. These sensations have a distinctive feature. They are localized, brief, but intense and usually accompanied by a sudden, intrusive awareness of that person. When you experience these seemingly random physical reactions, your body is confirming to you what your mind has not yet processed. Someone is connecting with you from the field of pure consciousness, sending signals that transcend the boundaries of physical space. For example, you may be sitting quietly, reading a book, and then suddenly feel a strong, enveloping warmth in your chest and immediately think of a close friend who is thousands of miles away from you. You didn't just think about them, you felt them. 4. Meaningful coincidences and synchronicities. The universe has mysterious and amazing ways of communicating through seemingly random but deeply meaningful events. When two people think of each other at the same time, their shared, unified energy field begins to manifest in material reality through amazing, incredible coincidences that are difficult to explain logically. Suddenly, his name or something that reminds you of him appears everywhere, in a randomly open book on a random page, in a stranger's conversation that you overhear as you walk by, in the headline of an article you see on your phone screen. Songs that you once shared together or that have special meaning for you suddenly play on the radio, in a store, or on a playlist. Numbers that have special meaning for you, such as your birthday or an important date, appear on clocks, license plates, or tickets. These synchronicities, as Carl Jung called them, are not just coincidences, they are visible manifestations of an invisible but very active connection between two consciousnesses. The energy field created by your mutual thoughts and emotions begins to subtly but purposefully organize the reality around you, creating symbolic bridges that connect your separate experiences, pointing to a common thread. These events have a special quality. They evoke an immediate sense of deep meaning, as if the universe itself is winking at you, saying, "Look, this is not just a coincidence." These meaningful coincidences function as confirmation on the material plane that something is happening on the energetic plane. They are like visible traces of an invisible dialogue between two minds, a kind of sign from above. When these synchronicities begin to multiply, it is a clear indication that both are tuned to similar frequencies, creating together a shared, intertwined reality that transcends physical separation. For example, you think about an old friend you haven't seen in a long time, and immediately come across their name in your social media feed or hear someone mention them in a casual conversation at the next table in a cafe. This is not a simple coincidence, it is a connection between your worlds. 5. An inexplicable feeling of peace. Among the most subtle but deeply revealing signs of mutual mental connection is a sudden feeling of peace that envelopes you for no apparent reason, without any logical explanation. It is a moment of pure serenity that arises like an oasis amid the daily hustle and bustle and stress, an inner calm that you cannot attribute to any changes in external circumstances, to anything that has happened in your life. This peace has a unique quality. It is often accompanied by a light, pleasant thought about that person, but without the emotional intensity of longing or anxiety. It is a calmness that seems to whisper to you that everything is fine, that there is perfect order and harmony in your relationship. Unlike other, more intense emotions, such as joy or sadness, this serenity centers you, brings you back to your essence, to your inner self. What you are experiencing is a harmonious resonance between two energy fields that have found their natural balance, come into alignment. When this person thinks of you from a state of wholeness, well-being, and inner balance, their vibrational frequency reaches you like a soft, enveloping wave of calm. You perceive not what they consciously think, but the energetic quality of their attention, their inner state. This inexplicable peace acts as a barometer of genuine, healthy connection. Connections based on lack, fear, or dependence generate anxiety and distress. Connections born of shared abundance, mutual respect, and love generate serenity and harmony. When you feel this sudden calmness, accompanied by a subtle, pleasant memory of this person, you can be sure. At that very moment, this person is thinking of you from a place of harmony and inner balance, sending you positive vibrations. 6. Incredible, almost miraculous chance encounters. Among the most tangible and even mystical manifestations of a shared mental connection are these seemingly chance encounters that defy all statistical probability and seem impossible from a logical standpoint. You go to a place you've never been before, for no particular reason, just following an inexplicable impulse, an inner intuition. And suddenly, to your surprise, there is this person, just as amazed and surprised by this coincidence as you are. These encounters have a distinctive feature. They occur at incredible moments or in incredible places. Contrary to all logic of routine and habit, it is as if fate brings you together. Sometimes they involve last-minute changes to your plans, inexplicable detours, or spontaneous decisions that seem to lead you, like an invisible compass, straight to this person. It is as if some higher intelligence or collective unconscious is silently orchestrating the movements of both of you so that your paths will inevitably cross. In fact, your energy fields, activated by mutual thoughts and emotional connection, begin to subtly but powerfully reorganize the physical reality around you. Shared intentions, though unconscious, become forces that attract situations and circumstances that facilitate the meeting, creating ideal conditions. This is the material manifestation of a connection that first existed on an energetic level and then manifested in the physical world. The feeling that accompanies these encounters is unmistakable, a mixture of surprise, awe, and deep recognition, as if on some level you already knew this would happen, you felt it. These moments are not mere coincidences. They are real dates that your souls arranged long before your bodies met in physical space. 7. Inner radiance and increased confidence. There is a fascinating and very personal phenomenon that occurs when two people are mentally connected. Your own image, your sense of self, begins to transform subtly but noticeably. You look in the mirror and notice something different, something elusive, a kind of inner glow that wasn't there before. It's not a specific physical change in appearance, but rather an energetic quality that comes from within, from your essence. This transformation manifests itself in a sudden, inexplicable confidence that arises for no apparent reason, in a renewed vitality, a feeling of energy that others often notice before you do. You feel more present in the moment, more complete, more connected to your true essence, to your inner source of strength, as if something within you has been activated, awakened, illuminating aspects of your being that were dormant or hidden. What you are experiencing is the direct effect of the collective energy field. When someone thinks of you with admiration, deep gratitude, and genuine, sincere connection, this powerful positive energy reaches your personal energy field, raising your vibrational frequency, making you more vibrant. Your energy body responds to this positive attention by expanding, shining with greater intensity. This is a subtle two-way transformation. Both partners in the relationship experience a mutual elevation of their energies, their overall state. The shared mental connection creates a kind of positive feedback loop, where each reflects the best in the other, amplifying their light. When you notice this inexplicable inner blossoming, this feeling that you are more alive, more energetic, and radiant for no apparent reason, you can be sure that someone is thinking of you with a frequency that deeply resonates with your true essence, amplifying your inner light. 8. Empathy at a distance. One of the deepest and sometimes most stunning manifestations of a shared mental connection occurs on an emotional level. Suddenly, without any rational explanation, you experience emotions that seem completely out of sync with your immediate reality or current mood. Sudden, causeless sadness in the middle of a joyful, sunny day, inexplicable anxiety or restlessness when everything around you is calm and safe, or, conversely, bubbling euphoric joy for no apparent, obvious reason. This empathy at a distance functions as an invisible but very active bridge between two emotional systems. Your energy field picks up on that person's emotional vibrations, their current mood, and translates them into feelings that you experience as your own, as if you were experiencing them yourself. This phenomenon transcends spatial logic, allowing you to feel what another person is experiencing without the need for words, phone calls, or physical presence. A distinctive feature of these emotions is their alien nature. They appear as unexpected, sometimes uninvited guests in your usual emotional landscape. They have a distinctive quality, as if they carry a specific energetic signature that you can intuitively recognize as not coming from you, not belonging to you. Sometimes they are even accompanied by a fleeting but persistent thought about that person. This empathic exchange occurs because, at deep subconscious levels of consciousness, the separation between truly connected beings is much more permeable than we are accustomed to thinking. Intense emotions create powerful waves in the universal field that are picked up by those with whom we share meaningful, deep connections. When you feel these foreign but recognizable emotions, remember that you are experiencing living, irrefutable proof of a connection that transcends physical separation and ordinary perception. 9. Sudden, unexpected messages or calls. Among the most direct and tangible manifestations of this silent but active connection is a message or call that comes without warning, perhaps breaking a long silence or period of no contact. It could be a simple, "How are you?" that pops up on your screen just when you were thinking about that person, or a call that rings just as their image flashes through your mind, giving you a sense of déjà vu. The fascination of these unexpected contacts lies in their apparent lack of logical context. They do not correspond to any special dates, do not continue recent conversations, and seem to have no immediate practical purpose. They just happen. They simply arise, driven by an invisible force that the other person cannot fully explain even to themselves. They simply felt an urge. This happens because, on a subconscious level, this person is responding to the energetic connection established between you. Your presence in their mental field has become so intense, so compelling, that it translates into an almost irresistible desire to make contact, to connect with you. It is as if a deeper part of their being has temporarily taken control, prompting them to bridge the gap to you, to overcome the distance. These seemingly random encounters reveal the magnetic nature of genuine mental connections. When two people are tuned to similar frequencies, distance and time become illusory obstacles that are easily overcome. Consciousness always finds ways to manifest on the physical plane what already exists on the energetic plane, turning thoughts into actions. 10. The universe adapts to you, as if helping you. The most comprehensive and telling sign is when the entire reality around you seems to silently reorganize itself to facilitate your connection, your reunion, or the strengthening of your relationship. Obstacles that seemed insurmountable begin to dissolve without any apparent effort on your part. Circumstances that previously separated your paths or hindered your interaction begin to transform in an inexplicable but perfectly synchronized way. This alignment feels like a quality of ease, fluidity, and harmony in your life. Things just work, as if by magic. Doors open, opportunities arise. The right people come into your life. Solutions or resources appear exactly when you need them, without struggle. This is not just coincidence or luck. It is the direct, tangible result of two energy fields that, vibrating in unison, begin to influence and shape the material reality around them. What you are experiencing is the manifestation of the principle of resonance in its purest form, when similar vibrations attract and amplify each other. When two people think of each other from a place of harmony, love, and inner alignment, their combined energies acquire a transformative power that subtly but effectively reorganizes the very fabric of reality around them. This synchronization of circumstances has a natural, unobtrusive rhythm. It happens without any coercion. It does not come from control or manipulation, but from trusting surrender to the universal flow, from recognizing that you are part of something greater. It is as if the entire universe has conspired to bring you together, not because you force it, but because your meeting or reunion is part of a higher order that transcends individual desires and plans. The 10 signs we have explored are not isolated, random phenomena, but interconnected manifestations of the same underlying reality, a deep interconnection that exists between minds that have established meaningful, sincere connections. From spontaneous, vivid thoughts to mysterious but very real reorganizations of circumstances, each sign speaks to us of a universal language that transcends words, physical distances, and the limitations of ordinary perception. These experiences invite us to expand our perception of reality, to go beyond the familiar, to recognize that we exist simultaneously on several levels of being. Our bodies may be separated by kilometers, oceans, but our minds and hearts participate in a single, invisible field where energy flows freely, where thoughts travel like silent messengers between souls who recognize each other as kindred spirits. The common mental connection, telepathy between loved ones, reminds us of a fundamental truth that ancient traditions have preserved for centuries and that modern science is slowly but surely beginning to rediscover. We are not isolated, scattered entities in an indifferent, empty universe, but individual manifestations of an interconnected, unified consciousness. Now that you know these signs, these keys to understanding, look at your life with new eyes. Pay attention to those fleeting but meaningful moments that you might have previously dismissed as coincidences. Trust your subtle perception, that intuitive wisdom that recognizes truth beyond appearances, beyond logic. Allow your consciousness to expand to embrace this broader, amazing reality, where minds meet in silence, where the energy of thought creates invisible but real tangible bridges between hearts that were never really separated, but were just waiting for the moment to remember their connection. If you found this video helpful, subscribe to the Flow of Thoughts channel. The next video may be the next step for you. Thank you for watching, see you again soon.